Sometimes people fail to make good choices. Nick Slovan is one of those people. His troubles with the law started at an early age and remained with him in early adulthood. With the help of a caseworker and a district judge, Nick agreed to tell us his story.
My dreams would be a basketball player. Never happened. Pretty much about that. Raised up around dope all my life. That's why the way I am. That's why I started using drugs. Friends used them. Started smoking dope when I was 8. Moved on up. Using pills. It's whatever I get my hands on. Teachers always looked at me and said I wasn't going to amount to nothing. They knew I was going down the wrong road. Never looked back. Once you get introduced to dope life, that's all you know. It's a lot of money involved. Can't make money like I made. Made a lot of money. That's all I was worried about was money. Money and drugs.
Nick was raised in a home where both parents were drug addicts, drug dealers. His mother, I think, was a victim of her environment, some abuse and a lot of drug use there. His dad did operate a business, and also sold drugs, as it turned out. And I think Nick was pushed out on the streets at 11 or 12, and I think this video will tell you that, to deal drugs. I think his dad put this in his hand and said, "Go make some money, son."
Started selling dope when I was 12 years old. My dad introduced it to me, and that's all I know. Dropped my books, started selling drugs, running the streets. They asked me one day if I wanted to make some money. The only way I knew how. I opened my hand down, he dropped some pills in it. Told me how much it was worth. I'd make so much. Then I found out what it done to, I started using them.
In the rural areas of Appalachia, it seems that the kids suffer from lack of family involvement. It seems the families who struggle financially, there's a lot of unemployment up here. There's a ton of drug abuse up here. There are so many people who are addicted to drugs, and I think the kids just have no foundation. They have no structure in their life. There's no schedule. No one cares when they go to bed, when they get up. The parents do push them out the door to go to school to get rid of them, to get them out of the home. No one does homework with them. I think there's a lot of issues that they go home to such a bad environment. And I never knew this until I started working, because, you know, the kids, there's a lot of good families here, and those are the kids that we tend to pay attention to more, unless you work in this field, and then you have an eye-opening experience of what really goes on. And sometimes I go into these homes and I've had to walk over a passed out mother on the floor to get a kid to sign a piece of paper, and this kid will say, "Shh, don't wake up my mother, her boyfriend will beat me up. You know, don't wake them up." And and you're stepping over top of bodies that are passed out from drugs all night. So those are a lot of obstacles these kids, and for them to overcome this is nearly impossible, because we could get them for 2 hours a day and do what we can do with them, then we have to send them home.
Ain't no how's your day at school or not. I can never remember one time my mom and dad saying they loved me. They always put dope first. I don't know why it happens that way. I guess it's the disease or something. You always forget about the ones you love.
He really could have been a star athlete. He was a very good basketball player, and in talking to some of his coaches, the people who knew him said he was just unbelievable in basketball. And I know you will hear him say over and over, "I should have played ball. I should be playing ball today. I shouldn't have done drugs. If I hadn't done drugs, I could have played ball."
No. I mean, I've had coaches tell me I'm a good ball player and stuff, I need to go on, but I was already too deep in. I give it all up.
I guess that he felt like money made him popular. And kids do kind of tend to hang with kids who have money. Of course, that's for the wrong reasons. But I guess when he got, I think he had no self-esteem and no confidence in himself at all due to his home life and the way he had been raised. And probably when and I think he was labeled as a very disobedient, mean, troublemaking child when he was growing up by the teachers, because I'm sure he was a little bit rebellious and couldn't do his work. He could not do it. And I think he just got labeled as a bad child. And I think when he got money in his pocket and he could do things, he could dress a little better, he could do, you know, the kids, he became more popular with the kids. I don't think he ever got respect from anybody like that.
There ain't no such thing as friends. All you got's using buddies, that's it. If you ain't got dope, you ain't got no friends. If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no friends. Your friends cuckle you. Catch you when you're down and out, take advantage of you. No, there ain't nothing in the world you can do about it.
Nick was one of many individuals who came through the court system. We don't single anybody out to try to send them through rehab or to work with them. We tried to work with everybody. As many people who came through my court with drug issues or problems of that nature, we would try to work with them. So Nick wasn't different really. I think he's just been more willing to talk about it and wants to really help other people. But Nick needed to get his GED and get a job. He had a child and he wanted to raise the child. But in order to do that, he had a lot of catching up to do in his life.
All this bad stuff started happening when they took my daughter from me. I just flipped out. Wouldn't let me around her or nothing. This made me crazy. She's the only one in the world that meant anything to me, you know what I mean? Now I found somebody that cares about me and takes care of me. Feel loved again, you know what I mean? It's rough finding somebody to really care about you, stand by your side. Too many people in the world stand by your side.
When you're trying to work with somebody and straighten up their life or behavior or work with their bad habits, try to get them to give those up, they bring with them all of their background, all their survival skills. If they have had to steal, they don't know any other way. It's part of their means of survival, maybe, or maybe they just have no conscience in that area. They've not realized that that's wrong. They were never taught that. I guess there would be a variety of reasons why someone would keep stealing or doing, committing criminal acts when all these agencies are trying to help them get on the right path.
I love my kid. I'd kill for it. I'd kill for drugs too. You know what I mean? But I'm done with the dope game. I'm done with it now.
He spent a great deal of his life in trouble, on drugs, in and out of the court system. And Nick just couldn't get caught up. I think he got so discouraged.
But now I realize you gotta the ones you love is the ones that's gonna always be there for you. You can't make nobody love you. You gotta earn love. It's like you gotta earn trust. Can't trust nobody. If I don't earn your trust, I don't trust you, regardless of who you are.
Seeing what I've seen with Nick and 40 other kids just like him, I think if these kids could really, and I think Nick would tell you this at this point in his life, if you can find, no matter what your home life is, and we've all had problems, everyone has issues somewhere, and no matter what you go home to, find someone that you can lean on. Find a church, find a teacher, find a coach, find someone that has something you want. Find a person that you would like to be like and get a hold of them and spend time with them and trust them to help you. And there are people out there who will do that. And study as hard as you can And if you can't do something, tell someone that you can't do it. Don't just bottle that up. I think if Nick had said to someone, you know, I really want to read, but I can't. You know, surely there had to be someone who would take him and say, I want to help you. Don't do drugs. That's the worst thing. I think sometimes kids just think that's the cool thing to do. It's the answer. And of course, they feel different. So, you know, if you're getting high, you surely don't have to feel all that crap that you've got going on in your emotions and your life. And I would just say pay attention to what's happened to Nick, because the choices you make in life, you carry with you forever. And you know, it's as easy to make a good choice as it is a bad choice.
Stay in school. No matter what nobody says, you're number one. If you don't stay in school, you're going up in a place like me. They think they're living in the real world. They have no idea what the real world is till they get on my level. They don't want to come to a place like I'm at right now.
Love and support. Life is tough when you're not getting them growing up. Nick wanted to tell you his story because it might keep someone from making the same bad choices. He's paying his debt to society, but missing out on a lot of living.